Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. We're diving into a topic that's uh, honestly kind of make or break for any new business.
Definitely crucial.
Yeah, pricing strategy. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I know it might not sound as exciting as like marketing or product development, but trust me,
Oh, it is.
this is where you really set yourself up for success.
Absolutely. And that's why we're using the 1% Windfall as our guide today. It's by Rafi Mohammed, and it's packed with real-world examples and actionable advice.
Okay, so the 1% windfall. When I first saw the title, I thought, okay, this is about like those tiny little tweaks you make.
Right, little
But
adjustments.
it's actually so much bigger than that.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's about realizing that even small strategic price increases can make a huge difference to your profits.
Exactly. And it's about understanding that value-based pricing, that's the foundation of success.
It really is. And the book highlights what Muhammad calls the profit disconnect.
Profit disconnect.
Yeah, you see a lot of businesses, they invest tons of time and money into creating their product marketing,
Mm.
getting it out there.
Yeah.
Right, all the important stuff.
But then they stumble when it comes to pricing. They might just add a fixed markup to their costs or even just guesstimate.
Leaving potential profits just slipping through their fingers.
Exactly. And they use a great example in the book Parker Hannifin. They're a global leader in motion and control technologies, and for years, they used this traditional cost-plus pricing.
So they were basically just looking at their costs and adding a certain percentage on top.
Yeah, pretty much. But in 2003, their CEO decided to shift to a value-based pricing model.
Okay, so instead of just looking at their own internal costs, they started focusing on what the customer was actually willing to pay.
Precisely. And this wasn't about randomly raising prices. It was about recognizing the real value their products brought to their customers, like reliability, performance, the expertise they offered.
So they weren't just selling a product, they were selling a solution peace of mind.
Exactly. And their customers were happy to pay a premium for that.
So what happened?
The results were incredible. They increased prices on some products by as much as 60%.
Wow. And customers were okay with that.
They were. Their net income shot up and their stock soared 88% in just a few years.
That's an amazing example of how powerful a shift in pricing strategy can be. Now let's break down this concept of value-based pricing a bit more. What are the key approaches?
So the book lays out two main approaches. The first is one-on-one pricing. This is perfect for businesses that work directly with individual clients.
Like freelancers, consultants,
Yeah.
maybe even small businesses offering a very tailored service.
Exactly. So let's say you're a graphic designer working with a client on their logo.
Right.
You wouldn't just calculate your hourly rate and add a markup. Instead, you'd consider the value that logo brings to their business.
Like how it affects their brand recognition, their marketing, their overall success.
Exactly. You'd compare your offering to the next best alternative.
Which could be like using an online logo maker or hiring a less experienced designer.
Mm-hmm. Your job is to show them why your service is better and worth that higher price.
So it's all about communicating that value proposition effectively. Okay, and what's the other approach?
The second one is multi-customer pricing. This is essential when you're selling a product or service to a wider market where you have customers with different budgets and needs.
Okay, so this is when you might offer different versions of your product with varying features.
Exactly, like a software company offering different pricing tiers.
So instead of having a one-size-fits-all price, you're giving customers options that fit their needs and their budget.
Mm-hmm. And this is where the demand curve comes into play.
The demand curve.
Yeah, it basically shows you how many people are willing to buy your product at different price points.
Oh, I see. So the higher the price, the fewer people will buy. But there's a sweet spot where you can maximize your profit.
Precisely. It's about finding that balance between reaching a wide audience and maximizing your revenue.
This is all making a lot of sense. Now, whether you're working with one client or a whole market, it all starts with understanding your worth and making sure your price reflects that value.
No more undervaluing your skills and your hard work. You're in business to succeed, and pricing plays a huge role in that.
It all starts with setting the right price.
Absolutely. And we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore in the 1% Windfall about clever pricing strategies that can really boost your profit.
Oh, yeah. Like what? I'm all ears.
Well, one that's super effective is called Pick a Plan.
Pick a plan.
Yeah, you offer different pricing plans to cater to different customer preferences.
Oh, okay. So it's about recognizing that not everyone wants the same thing.
Exactly. Some customers might prioritize flexibility, others might prefer predictability or a sense of exclusivity.
So you're giving them the power to choose what works best for them instead of forcing everyone into the same box.
Exactly. A great example from the book is ExoJet. It's a private jet company, and they kind of shook things up by offering these flexible leasing options.
Private jets, that sounds pretty high-end.
It is. Traditionally, private jet travel was seen as like an all-or-nothing luxury.
You either owned a jet or you didn't.
Right. But ExoJet realized that some customers might want the convenience and prestige of private travel without the commitment of full ownership.
So they created a new way to access that luxury.
Exactly. And they opened up a whole new market segment.
That's a great example of how understanding your customers' needs can lead to some really innovative pricing models.
Absolutely. Another fascinating example is Terminix, the pest control company.
Okay, Terminix, what do they do?
They realized that most homeowners don't really think about termites until it's too late.
Right, out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. So they were missing out on a huge potential market.
Okay, so they had to find a way to get homeowners thinking about termites before they became a problem.
Right. And they did it brilliantly. They created a protection plan with a fixed annual fee.
So it's like an insurance policy for termites.
Kind of. It gave homeowners peace of mind and predictable costs. It tapped into that underlying fear of a potential infestation.
So they weren't just selling pest control, they were selling peace of mind.
Exactly. And they positioned themselves as trusted partners in home protection.
That's such a smart strategy. It's not just about increasing revenue, it's about building those long-term customer relationships.
Now let's move on to another powerful strategy, versioning.
Versioning, like different versions of a product.
Exactly. It's about creating different versions of your product or service with varying features, benefits, or levels of access.
Okay, so it's like giving customers a menu of options. They can choose the one that best suits their needs and their budget.
Exactly. Think of it like good, better, best.
Good, better, best. Okay, I get it.
And the book highlights how Scholastic, the publisher of the Harry Potter series, used versioning really effectively.
Oh yeah, they released a regular edition and a deluxe edition of the last book.
Exactly. Both were bestsellers, proving that even die-hard fans have different price points.
So they catered to different levels of enthusiasm.
They offered the deluxe edition with extra content and special features for those who wanted the ultimate experience.
And the standard edition was still available for those on a tighter budget.
Right. They maximized their reach and their revenue by giving people options.
That's a great example of how versioning can attract new customers and encourage existing customers to upgrade.
Now, another strategy that might seem a little counterintuitive is differential pricing.
Differential pricing. What's that?
It's about recognizing that not everyone values your product or service the same way, and therefore not everyone should pay the same price.
Oh, I think I've heard of this. Like how airlines charge more for seats with extra legroom?
That's a perfect example. Or how movie theaters have different prices for matinee and evening showings.
Okay, yeah, I get it. So it's about using different prices to reflect different levels of value or demand.
Exactly. It's about ethically maximizing your profit by taking these variations into account.
Okay, so give me another example.
Think about gas prices. Why does gas often cost more in a city like San Francisco than in Los Angeles?
Well, I guess it's because of things like transportation costs and local taxes.
Right. It's location-based pricing. And differential pricing isn't just about location. It can also be based on the time of purchase.
Like early bird discounts or last-minute deals.
Exactly. Or how about buy one, get one free offers or bulk discounts?
Oh, yeah, those are everywhere.
Yeah.
So those are all examples of differential pricing.
They are. They're called quantity discounts, and they encourage people to buy more.
It's like that feeling of getting a better deal when you buy in bulk.
Right. And then there are things like student discounts or senior citizen specials.
Okay, those are based on demographics.
Exactly. They're catering to groups that might be more price sensitive.
So differential pricing is really about being strategic and understanding your market segments.
It's not about random discounts. It's about aligning your pricing with the perceived value and willingness to pay of different customer groups.
It's a powerful tool to maximize profitability while still being fair and accessible. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of pricing strategies so far, ways to boost your profits, attract more customers. But what about when things get tough?
Yes, when the going gets tough.
Yeah, like what happens if there's a recession or inflation goes crazy or a new competitor pops up?
That's where defensive pricing comes in.
Defensive pricing.
It's about adapting your pricing strategies to navigate those challenging economic conditions.
So not just panicking and slashing prices.
No. That can actually hurt you more in the long run.
Right. You don't want to devalue your brand or ruin your profit margins.
Exactly. Let's say we're in a recession. People are cutting back on spending.
Okay.
The first thing you got to do is understand how your product or service is perceived during a downturn.
So is it something people see as essential, or something they can easily cut back on?
Right. Is it something they trade down to as they tighten their belts or something they trade away from?
Okay, I see. So if you're selling something people trade down to, like maybe a discount store item,
Yeah.
you might actually be able to raise prices slightly.
Yeah, because the demand goes up, people are looking for more affordable options.
But if it's something people trade away from, like a luxury item, then you need to focus on retaining those loyal customers.
Exactly. Emphasize the value you offer: durability, longevity, cost effectiveness.
Show them you're there for them even when times are tough.
Now, what about when a new competitor enters the market?
Ooh, yeah. That can be scary, especially if they're undercutting your prices.
A lot of businesses jump into a price war, but that's rarely the best solution.
Yeah, it just ends up hurting everyone's profits.
Instead, focus on what makes you unique. Remind customers why they choose you over the competition.
Is it your quality, your customer service, your commitment to sustainability?
Exactly. Highlight your strengths.
Don't try to be someone you're not.
You could also consider strategic bundles or promotions.
Oh yeah, create some extra value.
Exactly. So whether it's a recession, inflation, or a new competitor, defensive pricing is about adapting your strategy to the specific challenge you face.
It's about making smart decisions to protect your business in the long run.
Now, beyond specific tactics, the book emphasizes building a culture of profit within your company.
A culture of profit.
It's about shifting the mindset away from seeing profit as a bad thing.
Profit's not a bad thing.
Exactly. It's a reward for creating value for your customers.
It allows you to keep innovating, improving your offerings, serving your customers better.
To build this culture of profit, you need a strong value statement that everyone in your company can articulate.
So everyone understands what makes your business unique and why customers choose you.
Exactly. And you need to analyze your pricing decisions in terms of net profit, not just the sticker price.
So you're actually making money, not just selling products.
Precisely. Remember, pricing isn't just about numbers. It's about understanding your customers, your value, and the market.
It's a constant process of learning, adapting, and refining your strategies.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of pricing, what's the key message you want our listeners to take away?
Pricing is a powerful tool. It can make or break your business. Even small adjustments can have a big impact.
The key is to be proactive. Understand your value and what your customers are willing to pay.
And remember, it's not about being greedy. It's about charging a fair price that reflects the value you provide.
A price that allows you to build a sustainable and successful business.
If you can embrace that mindset and apply the principles we've talked about today, you'll be well on your way to unlocking your own 1% windfall.
Absolutely.
So to all our entrepreneurs out there, I encourage you to really take a look at your pricing strategies, explore new options, talk to your team about the value you create,
Don't undervalue yourself.
embrace the power of pricing, and watch your business thrive.
And don't forget to check out the show notes for some extra resources.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a topic that matters to your entrepreneurial journey. Until then, happy pricing and keep diving deep.